Raya.
And I'm Brandon.
And you're watching
More Love with R&B.
And today we are doing a continuation of our video from last week, which was
knocking on divorce's door. Now, when we did that video, we opened up ourselves to tell you guys some things that we had dealt with that brought us to a place of, one could say, questioning.
Yeah.
Kind of double checking, like, am I in the right marriage? Like, that's silly, but it's so real.
Yeah.
And it's something that we dealt with, so we decided to share with you guys.
Yeah, and we said a lot.
Yep.
In that video, so much so that we did not have the time to share everything, because it would have just been a very long video.
Very long.
So we left a lot on the chopping room floor. Is that what they say?
Definitely chopping block.
No.
The chopping room floor? Who says that?
Like,
the chopping room floor. Have you ever heard somebody say the chopping room floor?
But it's not the chopping block. The cutting room, the editing room, like, you know, in the movie.
Editing room.
We left a lot
out there.
Yeah. So what we wanted to do was give you the second half of what we recorded that day. We talked a lot about the fact that there were problems in our marriage, and
we came so close.
And we also admitted that we are still together and we're still in love, but we didn't get to share with you what we learned.
Right.
And so that's what we're going to show you now.
So it is definitely important that we tell you guys what we learned, because one of the things that we realized about anybody who could be watching this video is that a lot of times marriages suffer in silence. You see, you always gotta pick some corny name. Like I won't say corny because there could be somebody watching. You see Harry and Susie that are, you see them at work, or you see them at church, or you see them in the neighborhood, and they always look, hey, how you doing? What's going on? But we all do that. We put on as a unit when we go out in public. But really, like, home life, like, we're like that. And so it is, like we said, sometimes it's like those small things that kind of bring us to those points. But we did learn something from all that.
Yeah.
And so we're going to share that with you
right now. So first we want to let you know, after we've told you all of the things that made us question whether or not we were supposed to be together, is that we're not getting a divorce.
No, we're not.
We know
You're
that
stuck with me.
We know that marriages come with challenges, and we realize that with every challenge that we dealt with, there is a learning process. And so one of the things that we learned about sex is that it's okay to be different. We just need to figure out who you are and who I am. Yeah. And the fun part comes when you're not selfish with your intimacy, but that you're thinking about the other person and wanting to please the other person, to where even though this is not necessarily my thing, I enjoy making you happy. I enjoy pleasing you. And so let's learn how to come up with a happy medium where we're both pleased. And trust me, it's gonna change as you get older and introduce kids and introduce, job issues, whether you get elevated or whether, unfortunately, this happens in marriages. You lose jobs and things get financially frustrating. Your sex drive and what you're wanting and what you're needing is going to change. Or maybe you've been doing the same thing since '88 and you need something different now. Like, things are going to change.
Yes, they do change for sure.
And so, and that brings me to the next thing that we learned is, don't have unspoken expectations. When things are changing, or when you're thinking about something, or when you want something, you have to say something, or else you cannot hold it over a person's head. Now, it's okay to have thoughts, just thinking about things and mulling them over to decide, is this something I really need or want or whatever? But if this is something that you need and want, you have to communicate it with your spouse.
Yeah, I would even say, one of the things I like about what she always tells me is like, you have to say what you expect, because then now the person has to deal with it. So it won't be no more like, I thought you would do this. It's like, well, why would you think I would do that? You never said anything. At least now if you say, hey, I expect you to do this. A, y'all can talk about whether or not that's even realistic.
Right.
But two, you can also know that what you had to say was spoken.
Right.
So now that they have something to deal with, they don't get the luxury now to walk around not knowing. It's like, hey, I can now be held accountable justifiably to your standards or whatever, because at least you've told me. But so many times we like get mad, and like I said, we stew in these emotions, judging people, our spouses, for stuff that they don't even know that we want them to do.
Right. And another thing that we learned was we can't have lack of communication. And I think that all the problems that we dealt with, and I would even go so far as to say that mostly all marriages deal with, is lack of communication. And so one of the things that we said very early, I think it was in the first year of marriage, was not talking is a sin. Yeah. Not talking in this marriage is against the law. You must talk to me about everything. And I even went so far as to say word vomit. If you are walking around the house, you need to be speaking constantly about what is going on in your head. I just want you to get used to talking to me and letting me know, because, you know, he's a thinker. He's thinking all these thoughts all the time in his head, and he's not sharing it with me. And then when he finally starts talking, he is at page 10 and I'm stuck at page 1 like, I'm sorry, what? What?
So yeah, so the rule that not talking is a sin, who do you think came up with that? So, and but either way though, like, it's real. Like
we did what we had to do for our marriage.
But I mean, just so that so all my guys out there are like, oh, you letting the woman run you? It's like, it ain't even about that. Like, we both, myself included, like, recognize where we fall short in the building up of this marriage, and I know what I'm guilty of. Like, I know that I've over processed a lot, and hesitate to say verbally. So. And then we can definitely say that we saw the benefits of that.
Yes, absolutely. To the point where I was like, okay, you don't share everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's my thing. But it kind of goes back into that second point about unspoken expectations. Like, oh, at least you know now.
Right.
You can't walk around saying,
I don't know what's going on in your head. I never know what you're thinking.
Oh my God.
You never share what you're thinking.
like, she don't have that story no more.
I don't. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, we needed to figure out what worked for us so that we could build a better relationship.
Yep. And
lack of communication, like, that's going to affect money, time, intimacy, safety, like, security. Like, it's going to affect all of that. And so in the beginning of our marriage, we both realized, like, we both, because we're set in our ways and we're used to, doing stuff on our own and being independent, lack of communication was a big problem on both of our fronts. It was a lack of communication on both fronts, and so we realized that.
Sorry. Both fronts.
Yes, we realized that we needed to set some safety things in place so that we got used to talking to each other on a regular basis. So we hope that you guys enjoyed learning a little bit about us.
Yep.
Our marriage is secure.
Yes.
For now.
But if you like this video. So those are the things that we learned. And so we just want to thank you for watching.
Yeah, we hope that you were encouraged. And if you have dealt with any of the same things that we've dealt with, we hope that this video helped you. And if it did,
please leave a comment.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I would like to say, I just want to throw this out there. If you are watching this right now, okay, and you can relate to anything that we said, put it in the comments. Unless you think your spouse will see it later and be like, what? Don't do that. I'm just saying, if you can relate please put it in the comments. Not just for our sake, but for the sake of others who could be watching. It can build them up as well.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching.
We'll see you guys later.
Bye.